Hey everyone, it's Mari. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. I have a 12 by 12 scrapbooking process to share with you. And I'm going to start off here with some basil cardstock and my Picket fence blending brushes. And I'm going to blend on some Distress Oxide ink in a few different colors. I'm going to start off here with Peacock feathers. And I'm just going to blend this onto my basil cardstock here, just fairly roughly, loosely, not too worried about it being super even. And I didn't put anything on the cardstock to protect the paper because I'm not going to be really using too much moisture on here other than these distress inks. So it's going to blend on here, not incredibly smoothly. It's going to be a little bit patchy, but I didn't really care because I am going to be sprinkling a tiny little bit, spritzing a little bit of water over top. I'm now going on with my second color here. This is Scattered Straw, and I'm going to just blend that into the peacock feathers a little bit. I will go back over these colors a second time and blend them back and forth a little bit just to get a fairly smooth and even blend. But like I said, I wasn't too worried about it because I am going to build my layout on top of this, and lots of this is going to be covered up. I'm going to go in now, or you can see me here with my dried Marigold, and the last color I'm going to use here is Spun Sugar. So I'm just going to get those all blended on there, those four colors, and those really are the four colors, the main colors in the color palette I'll be using today, which was inspired by the Dear Lizzy It's All Good collection, which is just a really beautiful collection. I love it. I love the softness of it, and I really like this color palette. I think it's beautiful. And you can see there I just spritzed that with my water bottle, and now I'm just going to take up some of that excess moisture with my paper towel roll, and I'm going to be good to go with the next step. Now I'm taking a 12 by 12 Crafters Workshop stencil. This is just a stencil for my stash. Not really sure which stencil this is. It's just a series of random little squares. And I'm going to take the Vicky Bouton iridescent glitter paste, and I'm going to just run this through that stencil, and it's going to leave just a really pretty random pattern of that beautiful glitter on the background of the layout. And I really love the sparkle and shine that this adds to the layout without being too distracting. It's just a really nice fun element that's layered over top of those distress inks. I really like how this looks, and you'll see once that dries up, which it dries fairly quickly, how beautiful and sparkly that is, and I really love that. So now I'm ready to go with the rest of my layout. I've got all of my background elements on there that I wanted to add, and now I'm just going to take a little bit of cheapy craft foam here and back my two photographs that I'm going to be scrapping today. So I've got two 4x3 photos that I've printed in black and white, and I have no white frame or border around them. I'm going to lift those up off of the first mat using that craft foam as a background or base for that. And you can see here, I'm just going to apply that with my ATG gun onto some of the 6x7 paper from the It's All Good collection. I really like this subtle pattern. It's just a little bit of that aqua color, which goes nicely with that Peacock Feathers ink. And I'm going to do the same thing with my second photo here. Second photo, same thing. It's 4x3. It's printed in black and white. I did run both of these photos through Lightroom, and I added just a few little things to them. I lifted up the exposure a little bit, and I just, did a little bit of editing on these photos just to make sure that they looked the way that I wanted them to. Now I'm taking this paper from the It's All Good collection. It's the one that has the balloons on the back and then the pink with the white text. And I'm going to just tear it, and this is going to provide a bit of a base behind my photo layers. And so I'm just tearing that so that the torn edge shows on the front, and I like how that looks. I always like to try to do that. I think it just looks a little bit more distressed in that way. And I hadn't really decided yet how I wanted to set these photos onto the layout. I do decide to put them in a more linear fashion, like they are right there. I'm not going to leave them in exactly that spot. I'm going to move them over a little bit to the left of the layout. Now I'm going to mat my photos. The next layer is some Basil 22 pink textured cardstock. This is my favorite Basil colored cardstock. Just love this color of pink. I was recently in Ottawa, and I went to a little shop there that's called Crop a While, and I think I bought every sheet of the tutu pink that they had because it's hard to find, and if I can buy it in person, I don't have to pay shipping, right? So I did stock up on it, and that is going to provide that layer on my photo mat. Now I'm just taking some paper from my stash. This is, it's not really tissue paper. It's kind of a translucent white paper that's fairly heavy, and I love that it's got that really crinkled look to it. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that behind my photo mat as well, just to give it a little bit more texture, make it look a little bit more interesting, because I've got that torn paper. That's the pattern text paper as the base for the area where the photo is going to be, and some of my embellishments. I just thought that this would be kind of a neat layer kind of in between that tutu pink and that texture, or that text paper. So once I've got that all looking the way that I want it on the torn edge, I'm going to get ready to figure out where I want this on my layout and start to think about adhering that down. So just taking a look at it and trying to decide. And basically what I did was I decided to put it over to the left, so that there's a place on the right there where I'm showing you to do some embellishing. And I decided I wanted to use this little banner from the cardstock sticker sheet. Now what I wanted to do was make a more of an embellishment that I could lift up off the layout, if you know what I mean. Just going to fussy cut around that then once I've got it on that white cardstock, and I will add some foam adhesive to that in a little bit. I wanted to add a little bit more orange to the layout, so I took one of the pattern papers from the small paper pad, and I added a little bit of that notebook punch element to that paper, and you can see that punch just to the left on my desk. I ran that paper through that just to give that paper a little bit of more interest. Now I took one of the cardstock ephemera pieces that was a circle, and I cut the center out of it, which is that little gold heart. And then I took my circle punches and I cut a bunch of the other pattern papers in circle shapes that will layer with that. And I'm going to make a dimensional element for a little embellishment there. Now I'm going to take this really cute little die cut piece that says the grass is greener where you water it. I love that. It kind of looks like a little Polaroid. And I'm going to put that as a little focal point for my embellishing to the right of the photo. You can also see I added another layer of patterned paper below that pink text paper. That's also from It's All Good, and it's another text paper that's got a white base and then some other little colorful elements on it. So I added another layer of that paper there. I also added a little layer of sewing to the very top of that pink text paper as well. And now you can see I also added a layer of sewing to this top of this little banner, and I just left the threads loose on the ends where I sewed that, just to add a little bit more interest in that way. Now I'm going to start just thinking about what I want to do with the embellishing here. So I'm going to take this little ticket from the die cut pack and add that to the side of that little die cut piece there that has the saying on it. And that little ticket says blissed out. I love the color of green. I think it's really pretty. And so I'm going to staple that on there just to add a little bit more texture as a way to attach that onto the layout. So now I'm just looking at it and thinking what else I want to do here. I knew that obviously I wanted to add a title, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to add for a title or what thickers or alphas that I wanted to use. These ones are quite oversized. I love them, but I just didn't feel like I had enough space for those. So I went into my stash and I found these ones from an older crepe paper collection. I think these came out with Oasis last summer perhaps. And I actually ended up having a couple of sets of these because I love them. They're really cool. And I think I'm almost out of them. I think this is pretty close to the last of them. I've got like a few left. So I'm going to add the word weekend from that collection or that set of phrases. And then I'm going to take these alphas that are larger. They're white, white foam alpha. I really like I like the size. I like this font. They're kind of a little bit shiny. And I'm just going to spell out the word fun there above weekend. Then I'm going to actually use the hashtag from that set of alphas as well, so that it says hashtag fun weekend, and that will be the large title there. So now I'm just going to take all of those circles that I had cut out using that die cut piece as the inspiration there. The die cut piece says all we have is now, and that's in gold foil. So I'm going to adhere that down to my base here, trying to use as much liquid adhesive to get things down to that mixed media so that I know that it's going to stick. Then I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to add some dimensional adhesive to the back of that just to make that pop. Like I said, my idea for this embellishment piece was to give each of the different layers a little bit of, I guess, lift. So I'm just using a little bit of foam adhesive that I've cut down so that it fits onto the back of that little donut shape, and stick that down. Just wanted to put my paperweight on top of that piece that I had adhered with that liquid adhesive to make sure that it's stuck down there. Now that circle base that I used is actually the same pattern paper that's in the photo mat, so I'm just repeating that paper there. And I'm also repeating the orange paper that I've used in the photo mat as well, where I used the notebook punch on this element as well, just to repeat some of the same pattern papers in different areas on the layout, just to coordinate everything, to draw everything together so that it doesn't look sort of disjointed. And now I'm going to add a little bit of foam adhesive to the last piece for that, which is that little heart, the gold foil heart, and that will be that DIY embellishment there at the top. And now I'm just taking a look and trying to decide what else I want to add. I did have a few other bits and pieces from the collection. These little puffy gold hearts are actually from the same phrase sticker sheet as the word weekend. And I'm going to add those in a few areas. I think I end up adding 3 of those. And then I just grabbed some of the puffy stickers from the collection and I'm going to add some of those in. This word relax is actually from the Heidi Swap sticker pad that came with her last collection, which was called, I'm forgetting right now, color something. You're probably all screaming it out to me, but I just grabbed that word relax. I thought that looked really neat on the bottom of that die cut. And now I just really wanted to use some of these dimensional stickers from It's All Good. I don't end up leaving that one there that I just put down. I'm going to take that off just because I didn't feel like I wanted to add any navy. Well, not a large amount of navy. I am actually going to add a little navy bee, but I guess I didn't really feel like that piece fit there. So I don't end up leaving that there, but I am going to use another one of the little dimensional stickers in the bottom of the left photograph. So that little phrase sticker there says enjoy this, and that is from the cardstock sticker sheet. And then I just took that little Instax camera dimensional sticker there, which is adorable. And I'm going to put that down there in the corner of the photo, which I love. I really like that. And then I'm also going to take the little banner that says, you are magic, I think is what that says. And I'm going to put that down as another little detail in that embellishment area there. So I like how that's looking. I think it's coming together. I'm going to add a little puffy heart to that as well here in a minute. And I just wanted to get a little bit of dimensional adhesive behind there just to make sure that that was going to stay popped up. Now, I think this is where I'm just going to go in and add a bunch of the other little stickers. Like I mentioned before, some more of the puffy stickers. You can see that I added the little dimensional bee, which is so adorable. And I am going to go in with my black gel pen and add a little flight pattern behind that bee. I just felt like that area up at the top there was kind of empty, and I needed to put something there because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for the journaling. I do end up adding the journaling off camera, but when I was looking at it, it wasn't just sort of coming to me at the time. And so I just wanted to make sure that I added some details. And that is going to be it for this layout there. I'm just showing you the little flight pattern I added with my gel pen. I love this layout, documenting our recent trip to Ottawa when we went to the terrace on the falls, and it was so much fun. And I like how this came together. And thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I am going to have a few still shots of the layout right away. And there will be some information on the end card just for how you can find me in social media. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.